Hello, man. We've been expecting you to come on in. Okay, man. I'll tell you this straight. There is a city in Northern California called Crescent Bay. And what we believe is happening is that a virus has hit it. This is not just a flu virus or influenza or whatever. This is a virus we haven't seen before. And right now I'm gathering up a whole bunch of people and we're gonna see what we can do on it.
Is there any way to contain or disinfect? Is there an antidote?
Well, there are ways to disinfect, but the problem is there's no such thing as a quick cure. These are viruses. These are creatures that take over the reproductive units of cells to replicate themselves.
So what about a vaccine? Do we have one in place yet?
Okay, ma'am, unlike what movies might say, vaccines aren't cures. They only help build immunities for those who aren't already sick. Not only is it hard to make a vaccine, it only helps those who aren't sick. However, we are working on a vaccine for those who aren't infected. The only thing you have to do is spread information to those who need it. Okay, this is how a virus works. Sorry for the rough drawing. This is a complex virus. And what it does is that it hacks into a cell. And when it does that, it takes over the reproductive unit, so the DNA, and it makes and changes it so that it makes more viruses. And when there's enough viruses in here, it breaks apart and spreads the virus to other cells. Sadly, this means that everyone at Crescent Bay would be a factory for more viruses. Understandably, the immune response will help and will delete most of the viruses. But the problem is, we don't know how the spread is going to be. For all we know, it's airborne, and it can transfer just from a sneeze or a cough. And these symptoms that we're seeing multiple patients, mainly with sneeze, coughs, and high fevers. But we also have patients, very rare cases, symptoms like brain inflammation that you can see in the rabies virus, or autoimmune responses that you can see in the HIV virus. And so far we've tested them and they don't have either. So we don't know whether it is the actual virus or some other symptom.
We have the technology though. We can stop this, right?
A virus is just a shell in DNA. It can mutate quite rapidly. And unlike bacteria, viruses can be cured with antibiotics. The human body, in this case, is the best fighter.
A virus is like a strand of like DNA or RNA that has like a protein coating. You've probably been through this. And so it attaches to the cell and kind of injects itself into the cell, and then it uses the cellular machinery to kind of do its work and reproduce, and then that interaction typically can produce what we call disease, because the cell is damaged by the action of the virus.
What's our course of action?
Well, encouraging people to be hygienic is a good start. But also, once we get the vaccine, we'll try to send it to the people of Crescent Bay. And making the vaccine more commercial and allowing other people to get it would be a great start also. But I think the greatest thing for you to do at this point is to send information to the majority of the people across America, people close as possible, so that everyone can have a preventive act on this rather than a reaction to the virus.
So what do we do now? Well, I need to make a public announcement.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need you to take care of all the details.
All right. So I need to get a podium and